What's up, y'all? It's been a minute. Today, we just gonna kick it on the TiShai Show. You know, me and my engineer T. What's up, T?
What's going on? Everybody good out there?
Yeah, they good. What's been going on with you?
Man, I've just been busy. I've been staying productive in every aspect, whether it being like producing music or just film. I just bought myself a camera. I just bought myself a camera the other day, so I've been trying to figure that out, trying to work that so I can make some money off of that. And then, just been working on music, honestly. And then just, staying tucked at the house, staying out the way.
That's good. I just had a birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, yeah, Aries gang. I know Taurus is Taurus Nation right now, but I had a good birthday and everything. So I'm ready to get back to work, back here. I miss my fans.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I went to Chicago.
What you do in Chicago?
My husband took me to Siberius.
Oh,
we
okay.
went to eat and we saw comedy and we ate more and we ate more and then we came home.
I know Chicago for sure has like a great food scene.
Yeah, that's why I went.
Yeah. What'd you guys eat? I had Giordano's down there when I went.
I went to Joe's Seafood and Steak Prime.
Okay.
And it was so hard to get reservations there because I really wanted to go to Papa Do's, but they were sold out. Everything was booked up. So I was able to get Joe's Seafood Steak Prime. The food was delicious. I had crab legs. I love crab legs. And then Sunday and filet mignon the whole nine. My husband was
okay.
he treated me really nice. And Sunday, we had Soleil.
What's that?
That's a soul food restaurant, but it's like high end and Lil Durk and all the hip hop.
In the trenches, relax.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And it was a boutique restaurant, and it was really nice. Food was amazing. I loved it. But other than that, and now I'm back.
Stayed in Chicago, man.
Yeah, because you know what? I love it there, really.
It's nice. It's nice. A friend of my wife and ours, she's a lawyer. She lives out there. And when we go out there, it's always like good vibes. Like we come to her apartment and we stay at her apartment and stuff. And we were staying off of what is called the Magnificent Mile or whatever it is downtown.
Okay, that's where we were at.
Yeah, we were staying. But she lives near that area, and so we was over there, and like they have a Subway, and I was like, Detroit, man, y'all gotta step your game up. Seriously,
that's the same thing my husband said.
Their downtown is beautiful compared to ours. And I'm like, oh, we got like a couple blocks, maybe a mile and a half. Go to Chicago. Like, no, we got subway stations. And I ain't talking about the food spot. Like real subway stations out there.
I know. People don't even drive their cars like that. Yeah. My stepson, he's in law school right now. And he's going to be a lawyer. We went to visit him. He has an apartment downtown as well.
What law school he go? DePaul? I'm curious.
I believe so.
That's what our friend was.
Yeah.
DePaul up there. Okay.
And we had to drive his car back because he's like it's too much for him. The drivers there are too aggressive, and he can't handle it.
I do remember that.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
Yeah, their taxi driver. We were taking a cab. We were staying. I think it was like off of McCormick Place or something like that. The first time we went, and it was first of all, their parking was like $70, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. So we for sure taking a taxi everywhere.
Right.
So, no, the taxi driver was just like all up on everyone's bumper and everything.
That's how they drive there.
Like, relax, G, we gonna get what we need to go.
And they lay on the horn. Lay on the horn.
Yes.
Faithfully. Man. But I had a great time. I want to give birthday shout outs, to some of my industry friends, Spratlin, Martin, Master Spratlin. I'm sorry, Craig Queen Tina. Happy belated birthday, bro.
Hey, happy birthday.
And let's see. So, what's been going on with the current events? Biden. What have you been up to?
The president out here raising taxes like T-shirts from Petey Pablo in 2001 and spending like helicopters. What I'm gonna need Joe Biden to do is to calm down on all this. Yes, it's a pandemic going on right now, but do you think it's smart to raise taxes right now? I know you don't even know what's going on. They wind up Joe Biden on drugs. He goes out there and he just says things and he says half sentences and then falls asleep sometimes.
Oh wow!
I know that was a lot.
Yeah, that's a, but you know what?
Against Joe. I love Joe. He cutting his checks, but it's like, all right, Joe, don't be trying to raise taxes, bro.
And that's mighty strange. I knew he was gonna do something because he giving. Well, I'm not saying he's giving away all this free money, but all this free money is floating around.
It's being printed, quote unquote, and not really printed. And speaking of that, I think that's an agenda, honestly. And it's like, all right, y'all done printed in the last 12, 16, 17 months or so, y'all done printed about $7 trillion out of thin air.
Right.
Think about it. The United States government has printed about $7 trillion, and they fought a disease. Now, one thing I've been noticing, and I'm not that old in life, so I'm old enough to know what's going on in the media, let's just say. And one thing I've noticed is the media in the United States always wants to fight things that you can't physically fight. Like, they be like, all right, look, we finna fight terrorism. All right, where they at? Where's the terrorism? Where they crib at? You
right.
We're gonna pull up. Can't find terrorism.
No.
We're gonna fight the war on drugs. Look where the drugs at. We're gonna fist fight cocaine. How do you do that?
And they don't want bringing it in.
Bingo. So and then it's like, and then now we're fighting a disease. Can we cuss on your show?
Yes.
How the fuck do you fight a disease? How? It's not possible. I'm gonna go and find COVID with COVID's at.
I think it's all they're playing, really.
I agree.
And especially, everybody. I'm anti-vaccination as far as that COVID vaccination.
I'm anti-vac
because I believe that it hasn't been out long enough.
Bingo.
And they always coming with something else. You know what I'm saying? Like recalls on the medication and things like that.
In 10 years, we're gonna see that
commercial. Right. It is not gonna be good. Like, damn, you got that COVID vaccine. You shouldn't have did that.
Oh, like, are you suffering from anal bleeding? Are you shitting through your eyes? COVID vaccine in 2020.
You're entitled to a settlement.
Right.
The U.S.
$5.
Right.
We will pay for the macaroni at your recession at your funeral, or the procession at your funeral.
I believe that if people eat right, and really the mask. Okay, now I've read that even when you wear the mask, I agree when you're in public places, that may stop the spread. However, if you wear the mask for a long period of time, our body, the human body, produces carbon monoxide naturally. Okay, so if you're wearing this and say you're sick with not just COVID, but with whatever, you're breathing that back into your body.
You can't detect nor smell carbon monoxide.
Exactly. So that's not good for us either. Okay. And then, as far as the vaccination, I had read that, and please, people, if you have gotten vaccinated, go get an HIV test.
I heard about that too. It's supposed to make you HIV positive.
Yeah, they're calling it a false positive.
Yeah, I read about that too. And it's like, all right, bro. And another thing, like going back to what you were saying, how do y'all got a COVID vaccination or vaccine? Y'all niggas haven't even quote unquote cured AIDS yet.
Right.
But y'all didn't cure AIDS yet, nor cancer, quote unquote. So It's like, we gonna come up with this out of nowhere. Y'all came up with the great value version of the vaccine before it came out. We want the real version. We want the brand name version if you're gonna give someone the vaccine. But also going back to that is God don't make mistakes. He made the perfect machine in designing the human body.
Yes.
And so it's like, why the fuck would I go and take a vaccine that's been proven that it doesn't know what it's doing? You guys have said it's 94% curable, successful, but the body is 98%. So why would I take something that's less than my body?
That's right. And then also you're injecting, what is it? A protein? They said it's not
the RNA.
They said it's not a weaker strain of the virus like every other vaccination, like the flu vaccination, like all the other vaccinations that they have. It's not that it's a protein that it injects into your body, and then when your body recognizes or come in contact with the COVID-19 virus, the proteins fight off the virus, supposedly. Now, people that have been vaccinated, it's a possibility they still can catch the COVID-19. So
the point of taking it.
Right.
It's like you can still get it, huh?
So why do it? But hey, to each his own,
I'm just saying, read Revelation. The Bible talks about getting the chip and
the marking of the beast.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I'm just slide that in there and then smoothly transition into this right here. Watch this. Did you see Pharrell opened a boutique Miami hotel?
No. What? Okay. Tell me about that.
This past week, I just thought about that. Shout out to Pharrell. He's one of my favorite humans in life.
Okay, what's up, Pharrell?
But he just opened a boutique hotel off of Ocean Drive in Miami.
Okay, I mess with Ocean Drive.
Yeah, it's nice but very expensive. They don't have the price for drinks on their menu on Ocean
Drive. No, they don't.
But no, he just I believe it's on Ocean Drive near the Fountain Blue, or it's like further down, like between 10th and 20th Street in Ocean Drive. But I did see that on Instagram this week. He had Rick Ross there. A whole bunch of industry folks were there. I think Brett Barish was there, who's the owner of of Bel Air and Bamboo Rum.
Yeah.
He's the owner of that. He was there. I know Pharrell, he has a home down there in Miami, but I did see him celebrate that. So shout out to Pharrell for pushing the culture forward and getting a hotel.
Yeah, that's really dope, you know. Speaking of Rick Ross and Maybach Music, you know, we're going to have Yada on the show in May. You know, he's an artist off Maybach Music. And, you know, that'll be dope. Come down, you know, mess with the TiShai Show.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest bosses. Rick Ross, 10-piece ring stuff.
Yeah.
Fat boy.
Yeah.
I love Rick Ross. I was listening before you came in here. I was listening to Santorini, Greece.
Okay.
I love Rick Ross. Great artist. Great artist for sure.
So other than that, DMX.
Yeah. And his service is going on as we speak. Rest in peace to Earl DMX Simmons.
Rest in peace.
It is from what I hear about his death, I heard he took the vaccine.
Okay.
His family, from what I read, came out and said he overdosed on crack. And they said they weren't sure really to what caused his heart attack. And which makes sense because it's like, all right, yeah, you overdose on crack.
I never heard of nobody overdosing on crack.
Me either. And not even a snowball.
No, not even a snowball. So what type of crack did he have? Now, are they trying to say, you know, that it's foul play, or I mean, I thought, was even crack his drug of choice?
Yeah, he was on crack for sure when he was young. Like someone slipped it to him in a blunt when he was like 14, 15 years old. So he didn't even know it was in there, and that's what caused him to get hooked. Right. So
he was smoking a 51.
I have no idea what 51 is.
Okay, but anywho, yeah, man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, but yeah, his service is going on now. DMX definitely is going down as one of the hip hop legends. I'm not sure how old everyone is listening to this, but I know in my day, growing up, DMX for sure was a prominent artist. Definitely one of the best at the time in the era of that 98 to like 2004, 2005, 97 rather, 2005. That whole Rough Rider,
yeah.
He created a sound, his own sound. Like no one had a voice similar to his at the time until Ja Rule tried to pretend to. And then no one was talking about what he was talking about. Like he was talking about his pain he had, you know, he dealt with growing up, and then still being hyped with the shit. Like, yeah, you know, the dog did crack, but you know, like everybody that shit that rode bikes down the street. You know, I'm sure he inspired folks like Meek Mill because they're driving. You know, Meek Mill also screams on tracks and just screams and rides bikes, etc. But shout out to DMX.
And then, you know, I've watched interviews of DMX, and you know, like the girl Keisha that played in Belly. I just watched the interview with her. She was on Fat Joe's podcast.
He does have a podcast, huh?
Yep.
How is his?
It's really dope. I mean, I don't tune in regularly, but you know, it ran across my news feed yesterday, and she was saying that although, you know, it may appear that he may have lived a raunchy lifestyle to the public, that he was actually a God-fearing man. Like he would be on set with his Bible. He would, you know, really he knew the Bible from front to back. Back to front, you know.
Charlamagne said something very similar. Charlamagne said DMX, like he said, regardless of what people think about him, he's one of the most anointed brothers I've ever met.
Yeah.
Charlamagne the guy said, and you can see it in him too.
Yeah,
you know what
you
I'm
can.
saying? It's like, granted, yeah, he talks about his pain and everything, but like, bro, he still was making songs. Lord, give me a sign, songs like that. He's still talking about God and praying for every, you know, like he was praying in his music.
Yeah.
Know, still, even back then, he was saying prayers over his songs, but it was still also talking about killing.
So yes, I mean, you know. Every saint was a sinner at one point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
the devil came from heaven.
That's right.
But
where's his funeral being held?
Barclays in Brooklyn.
Okay, it's going on right now, right?
It's going on as we speak.
Yeah, then they got the monster truck pulling it, right?
Yeah, they put him up in the monster truck. They didn't go out like a G, man. I'm glad they did that, man. They had the bikes lined up on the side of the street in the ATVs. They had DMX pull up in the monster truck with his casket in the back. It was exposed to the air, which felt good. You know, and it should feel good. Him being from New York, I believe he's from. Is he from Yonkers? I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yonkers Island.
No, he's from a different part of New York. I know that for sure, and I apologize if I'm wrong.
No, it's fine. You know.
I know that but he's a legend in New York, period. So
right. A lot of people went to New York this weekend too. I wonder.
Yeah.
A couple of my friends, you know, went to New York. I wonder did they go there because of that, and they knew what was going on.
This kind of reminds me of the Nipsey situation.
Yes.
I remember when that happened too.
I remember when that. I was sad about that.
Yeah, my whole vibe changed for like a month. I'm not gonna hold you up because Nipsey was one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Like, and what's so wild about that is I was just at his store like 2-3 days before trying to meet him.
Really?
Because I'm an artist myself.
Okay.
So I had just went to the Marathon store, ran into Sam, his brother Sam, Cowboy, all those guys out there at the store, and I was like, "Yo, where's Nipsey?" And he was like, "He just pop up. He don't really, whoa." And I vlogged it and put it on YouTube and everything. Like, it's all on YouTube. And then crazy, I get back and I'm editing the footage, and as I'm editing the footage, I see Nipsey got killed. I'm like, no fucking way. I was just, and like, it threw me back because like I was like, no, I was just right fucking there. I was just there 2 days ago.
That's so sad. Like, you could be here today and gone tomorrow.
Fast. And like that's what this situation sort of reminds me of Nipsey's situation, where he just like sudden. Granted, DMX wasn't murdered, but
yeah,
like, I just up and gone out of nowhere,
So I wonder, like, okay, when his family, going back to DMX, I wonder when his family had said, who's to say that he died from a crack overdose, right? Now, that kind of reminded me of Whitney. Yeah, because it's like, what's going on there.
She's in the bathtub, right?
Right.
Okay. And so, with his family, like I said, I saw that online maybe about a couple, like, I won't say a week after he passed or so. Like, someone reached out on Instagram and they said, well, who said he died over a crack overdose? He wasn't on drugs at the time. Or it was like his baby mama or something. One of his closest baby mamas, who was like his friend or ex-wife or whatever the case was, she said, who said he was on crack? He was in great spirits. He wasn't on drugs or nothing. You know? And then it was like, that wasn't the case at all. He had a heart attack and then he just died. They said he took the COVID vaccine or whatever a couple days prior.
Okay.
I find that to be very interesting because a lot of these folks out here who were taking the COVID vaccine a couple of days before, they turned up dead. Like, celebrities and just people that, that show up on the news, oh, this person ended up dying or whatever the case, and they're not going to attribute it to COVID, but it's like, come on, man. Like, smoke is smoke. You know what I'm saying? So, I pray that it wasn't no foul play on DMX like that.
I hope it wasn't either, I really do, because Hollywood, they don't play fair.
I see what we got.
Yeah, we're in tune with each other. Hollywood don't play fair.
Just so you guys know, I've probably done 2 podcasts with this young lady. Just off of this vibe alone, I can tell you right now, this conversation is going for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
But y'all ain't ready to hear that shit.
Right. We can get deep. We can stir some tea on the TiShai Show.
Real quick.
Yeah. So, I listen to Charlemagne a lot. In the morning, taking my kids to school. Yeah,
I don't like him because he asked the pointed questions. But
he asked the questions that nobody really want to ask because they don't really want to get the backlash or have controversy on their show. Like, I mean, he would ask questions that probably I wouldn't ask one of my guests on my show.
And it's like, well.
But then I battle with myself a lot with that because I'm like, I can really stir some shit up. I don't cuss a lot, but I can stir some stuff up.
But that's what creates content. It's like asking those questions. Man, this must be insane.
And it creates
this with someone else. It's like that's what creates not controversy, but that's what gets everyone talking.
Okay.
The conversations that no one wants to have.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, all my future guests, beware. Beware, because I might ask some shit that y'all might not want me to ask.
Like build a second phone or something, that's a different story. But anyway, we'll slide that in there real quick. Yeah, it's getting crazy out here. I did hear that DMX was working on an album before he passed. Okay. So we may get a I can never say that word. That word that starts with a P, posthumous. I can never say it. The album when he died, after they put out after he died, he may get one of those kinds of albums from DMX. And then I also heard the same with Nip. Like, Nip was working on the album before he died, too. And we may get something in the future from Nip. So. Let
me ask you this. Do you think Tupac is really dead?
When Tupac died...
Because with this Hollywood, you never know.
You never know. And...
He never had a funeral.
We never... I don't remember. I was young. I was like 6.
I don't remember Tupac having a funeral either. Correct me if I'm wrong, but...
Biggie had one.
Biggie had one. Yeah, but Tupac never had one.
Yo, You got me wanting to go back and check that out now. Because I was too young to remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the same time, I wasn't in rap like that when I was about 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, you know, our parents was around that
like
time,
my dad could probably be like, yeah, that nigga ain't no funeral.
But yeah, like, you know, I don't believe he had a funeral. I don't.
Now you got me thinking.
So.
Because they would still have footage of his funeral, like on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Right? And then all these conspiracy theories about, you know, him being in Cuba and all of this. And then he had
Matulu's still alive, I want to say, or his stepdad is dead now or something. Matulu's in Jamaica with long dreads, according to Rick Ross. Matulu Shakur is in Jamaica. And then his mom, Afeni, she just passed recently, I want to say.
Really?
Afeni Shakur died.
Oh my God, I didn't know that, T. R.I.P.
Who died? We don't know. Like you said, like it could be something.
Wow. That's, you know, I don't know.
You got me really over here thinking. I'm gonna look up
because I think it's some stuff in the game with that. You know,
man. I don't think what's his face is dead. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. The child molester dude who was doing all the massages. There's a documentary of him on Netflix.
Okay, I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's sick, man. It's wild. Like on that child trafficking shit. I don't think he did. I don't think what's his face is dead either. Damn, what's his name? Yeah, this is what happened when you drink Henny.
You said that's what happened when you drink Henny. Well, drink up for me. Oh, yeah. Take another shot for Tika.
Shit. I don't think what's his face is dead either. But nonetheless, either or. Rest in peace, Pac. It is I think it's something lost in the sauce for sure. Because like how this nigga Tupac was ahead of his game. Because like Dave Chappelle was saying, this nigga was talking about shit before it happened.
Yeah.
Talk about Bush running for president in '94.
And then you got to think he was stirring up a lot of political controversy.
Yeah, he was Black Panthers. That's why.
Right, and he was a part of that. Yep. So, hypothetically speaking, it's not no proof to the pudding. But what if the Black Panthers, maybe he got like a whiff or something was going to happen, or the government, and the Black Panthers basically was like, okay, helped him out with everything and escaping and kind of disappearing without a trace.
I be thinking about that kind of stuff because it's like, number one, they have it on TV. And so it's like, if you have this on TV, then
and his murder can't be solved.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
These people who be saying different stuff about him, like, no, he's still alive. Like, Suge Knight said he's still alive.
See, why don't they listen to
Suge? Knight was in the car with him. And it was like, he said, no, Tupac's still alive. Like, what? But I can believe that too, because like Tupac at 24 and less, he was ahead of his time politically, like you were saying, and then actively, like he knew the system was around to destroy Black people, all that kind of shit. Like the reason he had Thug Life tatted on his stomach was because Thug Life literally, academically, just make that word up, stood for something.
Did you know what it stands for?
I'm going to pull it up.
Google it.
I can't tell you exactly what it stood for.
What does Thug Life stand for according to Tupac?
Thug, THUG, let's put it right.
Yeah.
THUG is it symbolizes something, and man, I used to hear it in the song all the time when I was younger. But Tupac used to drink Henny because he said on the song, "Why I sling crap because I had to."
Do my husband know? Dewan? Hey, what does Thug Life stand for?
Let's see, Thug Life meaning Tupac. Let's see. Can we go to our judges in my Regis Philbin voice? Is he there too? Did they kill Regis? Thug Life. Yeah, the hate you give. Life invents fucks everyone. So Thug Life, the hate you give. Thug. Life infants fucks everyone. Little infants. I'm sorry.
Little infants
fucks everyone. The hate you give little infants fucks everyone. Thug Life.
The hate you give. Okay.
Yes.
That's
so deep. Like that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving negative energy to a child.
Yeah.
And they grow.
And it's growing, and it's gonna fuck everyone. Basically. And that's polluting our youth.
Yeah. He's okay. Tupac. All right.
Okay. So yeah, and they didn't like that, I think. But hey, who am I? I'm just from TiShai Show. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that.
Making niggas think. Speaking of making niggas think, so George Floyd. We finally got some sort of, I'm not going to say justice.
I'm not going to say justice either.
We have a verdict on his case, I'll say.
Okay.
A verdict on
and they had to do that. They had to. They really didn't want to. And then the guy, the police officer, he may get an appeal later on down the line, or he may get pardoned. You never know.
Man, imagine I can see them pulling some shit like that because I don't know if you noticed, but like after they announced the verdict of him being guilty or whatever it's on all three charges, like three other shootings from cops popped up out of nowhere and they made that mainstream. Yeah. And like I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I personally believe that there's an agenda for one to separate the people, and by people I don't just mean black folk, I mean all folk. And two, I believe there's an agenda on the black people alone because number one, we have the God molecule in us being melanin. So it's like I see what y'all doing. It's in the Bible. It's a spiritual war happening right now, good and bad. And you have to choose what it is that you want to be. You're gonna focus on the good or the bad. And so it's like, man, okay. At one point, y'all gonna keep playing with God's people, and he gonna come down. The God himself will come down to motherfucker and start slapping bitches. And then God will be like, I told y'all. It's in the book. I told you. I really told you. Yeah. In the book. Like, I told y'all niggas. And then it's going to be over.
Because they've been doing us bad for so long, you know?
It's like.
And we have not received any reparation or anything.
The Japanese got reparations for
Native Americans.
The Native Americans got reparations. The Jewish folks got reparations for the Holocaust. And it's like, nigga, we built this, like, literally.
On our back.
Built this bitch.
Yeah.
And another thing people don't know is when the Europeans came here, it was already black people here, number one. And two, was like, we literally built the fucking country. Y'all can give us, y'all just printed $7 trillion out of thin air last year, but you can't give us reparations. We'll talk about that later in another episode.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But, you know, I don't want to say this, but according to the Bible, what did Jesus look like?
Jesus was a black man.
Exactly.
Period. No, Jesus may have been a nigga.
That's what I say that because hair like wool.
Eyes like fire.
And brown skin.
Brown skin.
What is that?
Brown skin.
That's right.
He was over there in Africa, roaming around doing his stuff thistle with his people. And he had 12 homies around him. So he had an entourage. So Jesus may have been a nigga.
Say he had 12 homies.
He's out there preaching too. Imagine being up in what they call the vestibule.
Yeah.
Or at the church and you got 12 niggas behind you ad-libbing. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, Jesus. Imagine that. I don't mean to I'm not trying to downgrade Jesus, by the way. Me and God have a tremendous amazing relationship. But yeah, Jesus for sure was black. And you can fight me to the death in that. I'm gonna tell you the same thing.
And I believe the same thing too. Now, you know, with that being said, our people are brown skinned people.
Yes.
I feel as if, you know, we are the strongest as far as genetically human beings walking on this planet.
Agreed, 100%.
I believe that we were the first humans in civilization, period.
Yes, and what folks need to realize and understand and need to research is that the three original humans that were the first here are of the African descent, are of the Asian descent, and the Chinaman. Sorry, he's a Chinaman, and he's of the Aboriginal descent, which is over there in Australia, in Oceania.
Okay.
Like, everyone's black. I don't know if you noticed that. The original Chinaman is a dark-skinned man.
Okay.
And a lot of folks don't understand that. And so what happened was there was some genetic mutation, all we put in the Bible when people going down. And if you listen to the story of the Nephilim, read the story of the Nephilim in the Bible, when they come down and genetically mutate and crossbreed with people.
Yeah.
And then you get in it with light-skinned Chinese folks.
Yeah.
And then the skin gets lighter because white folks, their genetics are coming from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yes.
Their genetics are built on conquer and kill to survive type shit because savagery, yes, because they grew up in the ice and in the cold and in the mountains.
Yeah.
Us being black and the Chinamen and everyone else, we grew up in the
tropics,
jungle. In the tropics, and it's hot. And
yeah.
It's like, we good, we chilling. We know how to survive.
Off our land.
Exactly.
And then until we were robbed of our land.
Right. And then it's like, oh,
kidnapped,
take this.
Sold, and enslaved.
Right.
Why don't we get reparations?
Because they know that the most dangerous thing on this planet is an empowered black man and just people. If you empower the black person, it's over. You empower the black community and the black people itself, it's over. They know that. We're literally God's jewels.
I believe so.
In human form. They know that. That's why it's always been something against all of us for us to succeed.
And then, what about, I believe like black people, you could hear of some cases people getting like skin cancer from the sun and all of that, but I don't think that that's prominent within our culture.
No, we have melanin.
Right, that's what I said. Like
vitamin
that.
D.
Yeah, we don't.
We good.
Yeah, so moving on.
They don't kill black people. You ever heard of a white person who died from heart disease?
A white person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a white person die from like diabetes and heart attack and all that shit?
A heart attack?
Not most, but like not really though.
Yeah, like diabetes.
Not a lot.
Yeah, not a. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I worked in the healthcare field at one point, you know, and I used to see like the white people. They would mostly pass like Alzheimer's, other things, you know, cancer, other little things, you know, probably, but never really more so diabetes, you know.
There's a reason for that.
Why?
Because you go to black people, you gotta kill them through their heart. You can't kill like we're everything else we're essentially immune to because of our genetics. Like black people were living to be 100 and some years old over in Africa.
Okay.
Like, easily. White people weren't.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
So it's like if you to kill a black person, you gotta go to their heart. Like, all right, I'm gonna make this. I gotta make them fat. How do I get them fat? I'm gonna put junk food around them. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put liquor stores in every corner.
Every corner.
They live near, so that's their only option of food. McDonald's, all that shit.
And then, as far as our grocery stores, you know, in the inner city, they're horrible. Trash. You might get old meat, bad meat, contaminated meat, which ultimately poisons us. You know.
But when you go over to the white neighborhood, what you see, you don't see liquor stores in the white neighborhood.
No, not on every corner.
You see Whole Foods.
Yes, you do.
You might see a Walmart. All that kind of shit, fresh food, little mom and
holiday market,
all that shit, all that good shit. And white people want to know why? Because they know how to kill people. You do our diet. You kill a black man through his diet by what he eat. Because when they found us, what was we doing? Who was eating berries? Who was eating off trees? Who wasn't really eating meat like that? All that eating meat shit came from white folk for the most part. Yeah, they had to kill me
because they had the savagery.
There you go.
There you go.
If you look at the, like I said, the Chinamen and the African man, where we at? We was in the jungle.
Right.
Berries. You know what I'm saying? Fruits, vegetables. Grain, all that kind of shit.
And you're right, we did live long lives, you know, 100. And then, you know, what else I've realized in working in the healthcare field, that I'm not going to say Indians, but Native Americans, they live really long.
Yes, they did.
They still live long now to this day, like 105, 110. You know, I've had patients that were 110 years old.
My great grandmother was 106, and she was part Native. She was a quarter Native American.
Okay.
And was she black? I want to say she was Blackfoot. Correct me if I'm wrong, if my family's listening. But nonetheless, it's like, yeah, they lived a long time. And what a lot of folks also don't understand is, like, when the whites came here, it was already black people here. Okay. Like, if you look at the Native American, what color is their skin? They're dark.
You get some dark. Yes.
Because they came. So a lot of people don't believe this and don't understand this. There was once an ice bridge over in Alaska that crossed us from Russia over to Alaska and shit. Okay. There were black people in Russia. The original Russian person is black. Really? So I don't know if you ever look at the Russians' hats. Yeah. Why they look like big ass afros and shit. Because the original Russian man was a black man, and it's forest in Russia. It's cold forest, but that's where black men live. The black Russians lived over there. They crossed over.
How's the climate there?
In Russia? Yeah. It's like a whole bunch. Russia's like 65% forest, like, and nothingness. Okay. And it's like, and then there's like Moscow and all that kind of shit. But like China and Russia are kind of like this. Okay. So it's like
they're neighbors.
Like, you know, they're over there. And it's like, in Africa's over here too. So I think I believe in that.
Also, so some crossbreeding going on.
Yeah, it was a migration, and then black people came in through Alaska. Then you have the Inuit folks over in Alaska, which are also Indian, and they're essentially the cold Indians, and they're Native American. They have dark skin too, and because we were there, they came down through Canada, North America, or Northwest America, and all that shit, and came here.
So how did they have dark skin if Alaska is predominantly cold?
Our skin, our DNA. Okay. So if you have black men, like black people, and then a white person, let's say, they have chances are the baby gonna be like light skin, right? And that's so if we were already there in Canada, because there's black Canadians in Nova Scotia and up that way, Saskatchewan, there were different tribes of Indian up there too, which means Indian and Native American. Essentially, black people, they're already here. There's no white Indian. Like there's no Caucasian and white looking Indian.
You're right.
So they're all dark skinned. They were the black people, the descendants of African Americans or Africans essentially. So when you go and you crossbreed and the whites come through, I'm gonna go and have sex with Pocahontas. Yep. Then what happened? The skin change.
Yeah, and you get a lighter. Yeah. Right. And straighter hair.
Yep, straighter hair. Yeah. And we don't get black and turn darker, we turn red now. Yep. There
you are so right.
That's how it goes. And it's like they came through and crossbred with us and shit, and he was like, oh, okay, we're gonna make these Indians look different. So that's why they brought Pocahontas back to Europe.
Yeah.
And what they do, that crossbreed with her, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's a, but you see how this works, you know. But yeah, it's been cool talking to you today.
Absolutely. This is a great conversation.
This is really, we're gonna save some more for the next show.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure, for sure. Well, hope everyone out there is having a great day, spreading great vibes as always.
Yeah, spreading great love and positivity. And shout out to my big bro, Dennis Reed. He got the First Lady 3 coming out. It's premiere June 5th.
Hey.
Get y'all tickets. The TiShai Show will be in the building. And you know, I can't wait. You know, I mess with Detroit. We support each other and we gonna keep it moving. We are setting the narrative of what is cool here.
Period.
Period.
That was a great way to end the show.
See ya. Mwah.
That was great. That was perfect. Let me say this now. Like, let me say the shit out of this show. But yeah, that's what me and my cousin were literally just having this conversation the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He just sent me some books to read up on. But yeah, that's where black people came from, bro. It'll fuck people up if I told them that black people literally came from the gods.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, have you looked at the Anunnaki and all that shit?
Is this one still going?
No, this is that's all.
So okay, this just
That might be. Well, that is something.